please check your network. We cannot hear you. We can't hear you clearly. Speak up, please.
Start from beginning.
I say we can't hear you clearly. Please speak up. Speak up.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. We cannot hear you, sir. Hello, Mr. Henry, we cannot hear you. Hello, sir, we cannot hear you. We cannot hear you.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Eh?
We can hear you now.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, can I go ahead now?
Yeah, you can go ahead. Please start afresh.
Okay. I am saying that today's lecture is on leadership and habits. And the purpose of the presentation is to examine the habits that enables a person to influence others and exhibit leadership. To also describe the habit of highly effective people and to provide the keys to excellence. The outline of the presentation, can you hear me, Fabian?
Yes, we can hear you.
The outline of the presentation is on the two questions, which is on what is habit and what is leadership. So let me start with habit. Habit is defined as, let me start with leadership. Leadership is influence. This influence means the ability in moving another person in a direction you believe is important. And what is this ability in moving a person? Is it a physical ability? No. It is an unconscious and impersuasive force. It is done unknown to the person influencing the others. Every influence exerted on somebody is done without any physical force. It is as a result of somebody's behavior or character over time that must have influenced people around him to begin to tilt towards his direction. Based on this, there are some who have argued that there are some certain traits that are present in certain persons that help them in leadership. Yes, very correct. There are traits that are in other people that could help them in leadership position. That is why most persons could argue today that leaders are born. Yes, there are inherent traits in some persons. But if those who have this trait of good leadership and those who is also learning leadership, if you are mentored properly, you become the best leader that the world desires. The world is looking for somebody who could change situation for good. Then, in the same vein, there are habits that can enable person to influence others and exhibit leadership. What are those habits that we can also examine? We can also begin to behave that could influence others. Since leadership is by influence, what is that leadership? That is an influence, is a habit that we individually live that has enabled our leadership qualities to show. But let me leave you with some nugget of leadership, nugget of habits. This nugget is rhetoric. It is things that we will all ask ourselves and answer ourselves, and our answers will be different from each other. I don't think anyone will have the same answer. This nugget says there is no real excellence in this world that can be separated from right living. David Starr Jordan, that is what he said. Yes, that is correct. The way you live if you don't live right, you will never attract the right set of persons. You will never get the right condition and environment to excel in life. So he says, there is no real excellence in this world that can be separated from right living. The secret of your future is hidden in daily routine. The secret of your future is hidden in daily routine. What is daily routine? Daily routine is also a habit. Those things that you do every day, they say, oh, this guy is addicted to this. This guy, this is his habit. Like those that smokes, they have a habit of smoking. It is a daily routine. Now, this man says the secret of your future is hidden in those things that you do daily. Today, what are those things that you do daily? Are they positive? Are they negative? Then the answer is yes. Because however you live, those routine things that you do on daily basis has a way to influence you positively or make you become negative or positive in future. Your attitude determines your altitude. Your attitude determines your altitude. That is what this other person is saying. Yes, how you express feelings and how you show emotion determines the way you grow in height in life. If you express feeling genuinely or emotions genuinely, it means that people will definitely look back when there is a need to assist. Smiling means more friend than frowning. The answer is as guess as mine. If you frown so much, you chase people away from you. If you smile so much, you attract, you bring people close to you. So the choice is also left with you as a leader. Whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe can be achieved. There is nothing on earth that a man conceives and believes in that cannot be achieved. Are you not surprised that today somebody can fly an aeroplane? It was somebody's dream. He conceived this idea and he worked towards this idea and he became that which he has conceived. So whatever a man on earth conceived and believed in, he can achieve. This is just to spoil you, to see that leaders are those people who sees beyond today. They are those people who are determined to make success. Even when you think those things are not possible, leaders see them to be possible. If you want the secondary greatness of recognized talent, focus first on primary greatness of character. If you want to grow in secondary, if you want to grow great in life, recognize your primary greatness of character. How is your character? Your character determines the kind of persons that will come around you. Two people can see the same thing, disagree, and both are right. Yes, every man on earth has an answer when he looks at an issue. So as a leader, you must see people that their answers and positions may not really be the same. Everybody sees things differently and believes in them differently. Now, what is habit? Habit lies at the intersection of knowledge, skill, and attitude. When you draw 3 circles and cut each other, you will see that there is a point in between these 3 circles that they all both cut each other. And that is the point of intersection. The science called them nucleus. That center is where the habit stays. Like you can see in the screen, habit is at the middle. There are 3 points from 3 different. One is knowledge, another one is skill, another one is knowledge. Is attitude. You cannot become knowledgeable without a good habit. A habit of always reading, a habit of always seeking for information. Then that stands you out. If you cannot also be skillful without a good habit, in that your skill, habit is push you to ensure that you do it every day. Habit is doing that your skill every day and become a professional in it. And thirdly is attitude. How do you show emotions? How do you express feelings? You cannot express good emotion and good feelings without a good habit. So habit is at the center of however you live your life. Now let me define what this knowledge means. Knowledge means retaining facts and information. Is there any how you can retain facts and information without the habit? Because the habit is things that you do consciously on daily, is a routine you do all the time. So for you to be knowledgeable, you must have a habit of either reading, either sourcing for information at all times. The same thing goes to attitude and it goes to skill. Jan Davison defined habit as some action performed over and over again until it is done without conscious thought. Just like I was trying to explain, everything you do over and over again is a habit. But it is only a habit when you begin to do it without a conscious thought, like those that smokes. They choose to be smoking. They started this gradually. At a point, they no longer control it. The cigarette now controls them. Then at that point, it becomes a habit. So it is in any other thing you find your hand to do. So if you see any man who is addicted or who has a habit for either a good thing or a bad thing, let him or her take responsibility. He started it intentionally. This class is letting us know that there is nothing on earth that we have done in form of habit that we didn't do intentionally. It is after intentional behavior that it now degenerates into an unconscious one. At that time, it becomes a habit that we can never leave it, except we change the habit. Habit can be formed through conscious action. Yes, there are things that you deliberately do. That is how habit is formed. So when you see somebody that is living bad, do not transfer the responsibility. Let him or her take the responsibility. It is formed by conscious action. It is important to point out the whole idea of training is to help people acquire the required knowledge, skill, and attitude to enhance performance. This is the reason why learning is a process that involves the acquisition of knowledge, sharpening of skill, or changing of attitude and behavior to enhance performance. So this is how it goes. Everything that we have done, however you do it, the training and the mentorship is key, because it is key because it will enhance your knowledge, it will enhance your skill, it will enhance your attitude. And all this, at the center of it is habit. The whole idea of leadership school is to inculcate habits that will lead to performance, success, and leadership. That is the essence of this leadership class. So if you pass through this class and you have not incorporated, this class has not changed the way you do things, then something is wrong. I think that is the essence of this class. There are 7 habits of highly effective people. One of those habits is being proactive. Every good leader must be proactive. You must know how to take initiative. You must know how to act. You will also know when it is right to act. You must also know how to communicate, and you must know how to keep to commitment. This is being proactive. Like Nigeria, every good leader, you don't wait until there is problem. Like what we are seeing in terms of corruption. Are we really fighting corruption? Some people will say yes, some people will say no. To me, I say no, we're not fighting corruption. For you to fight corruption, every good leader must be proactive. You must think outside the box. What are those things that we can do that can prevent people from stealing? Just like we talked about TSA, talk about BVN. Yes, there are things, the tools that we have brought to stop corruption. If it is when you bring out these kind of tools that you can say, yes, I'm fighting corruption. So you must be proactive to ensure you stop those ills in the society. You don't have to wait until the wrong has been done. You start arresting people and then you say you are fighting. We are not, until we become very proactive in closing all the gaps that could make people pick money that does not belong to them. The second one is begin with this end in mind. There are 7 habits of effective people. I've said 1, be proactive. 2, begin with the end in mind. There is nothing a man starts in life that he doesn't have challenge about. So when you have started anything, let the beginning not discourage you. Have the mind, the end in mind, just like the man who invented aeroplane or the phones we are using today or a laptop. He or those who have died years back will never believe you could communicate with somebody in other environment without seeing the person, just like we used to write later. But whoever must have come with this idea did not see the beginning. He was looking at the end, because this beginning will always be very challenging. So whenever you want to take a decision or when you want to start small, be discouraged by the beginning. Look at the end, and then it is the end that will inspire and motivate you to keep moving to get to that destination you want. We also understand that there are what we call centeredness. Centeredness is key. There are persons whose zeal or intention is to make money, but his centeredness is on finance, or his centeredness is on friend and enemy. How could you have a centeredness? Centeredness, I mean, is that what occupies a man's mind could be friend and enemy. And he is looking for money. His priority is money. And that is why I'm encouraging that please, each and every one of us, you must have what we call mission statement. Your mission statement must fall in line with your centeredness. We'll have family centeredness, we'll have work centeredness, we'll have career centeredness, we'll have spouses centeredness, we have friends and enemy centeredness, we have financial centeredness. It depends on what you want. But ensure that you align your centeredness to your priority. The third one, think win, think win. This one is saying that we should all be positive at the same time, all the time. Be positive in your character. Be positive in your relationship. Be positive in agreement. Be positive in reward system. Be positive in all issues. You must look at the problem that is around you as a leader. View it and identify what the issues are and the concerns, and then be positive in tackling them. Therefore, if you do this, then you are thinking win-win at all times. Another one, put first things first. Things which matter most must never be at the mercy of things which matter least. How could you have what matter most to you and then you leave it and prioritize it to things that matter less? There is what we call 20-80 principle. If you read a book written by Brian Tracy, you will read more about 20-80-20 principle. Most persons in life devote 20% of their time in dealing with those issues that matter most in their life, and devote 80% of their time to issues of 20 that matter only 20% most in their life. If a man thinks in this direction, he's getting it wrong. Please dedicate your 80% time to those major things that matter most in your life, and dedicate only 20% to those things that matter less. I think that's the way to go. The fourth one is seek first to understand, then be understood. Do not rush to fix things up. Take time to diagnose and deeply understand the problem first. Communication is key. Listen more and speak less. Any issues that you are trying to resolve, please seek first to understand, then be understood. Make sure you understand the issues before you go into it. Look at them from all angles. And then if you do this, you'll be able to solve the problem. The fifth one is synergize. How do you synergize? Please value differences. In man, God has made it. Even our personal life, everything is different, even the way we look. Therefore, in everything we do, make sure you value differences. Different opinion does not make an enemy. Difference in behavior, that it brings the beauty of existence. So value differences, pull resources together, and then partner and network with others. If you do this, you are synergizing, and it is a way to go. The seventh one is sharpen the saw. Sharpen the saw. So take time to preserve and enhance the greatest asset that you have. You need the 4 dimensions of nature. What are those things that enhance your greatness? Please, those things that enhance your greatness, make sure you preserve them. But what are those things that you have to preserve? Your life, one. As a leader, you must be healthy. Hello?
Yes, you can hear you, sir.
Okay, as a man, you must live healthy. So you have what we call physical. And those physical is physical exercise. You must make sure you take it serious. Good nutrition, you must take it serious. Time management, you must take that serious. Then you also go to social and emotions. You must be trusted. You must have good emotions. You must have human feelings. spiritual. These are four, they call it the four, they call them the four natures. So these four natures is what we are defining. One is physical, which I talked about, physical, good nutrition, and, good health, and the rest. I say social and emotions, you must have this. Third one is spiritual. This spiritual, I mean, you must know how to meditate. As a man, you must meditate very well. As a man, you must seek clarification, commitment, and study. If you do this, it is spiritual. It is a thing that will make you, because everything that a man achieves, first of all, starts with imagination. So you must know how to imagine properly. The fourth one is mental. Mental, I mean, is reading, visualizing, planning, and writing. These are the fourth one. And that is what we refer as the fourth dimension of your nature. Do not play with them because they'll keep you fit and up to date. Then this same author, which is Stephen Covey, had also had the eighth one, which is called the eighth habit. And this one, to me, is one of the powerful. He said, find your voice and inspire others to find theirs. Then you must not be selfish. Whenever things works for you, do not stop others from also growing. If you find your voice at any time, please allow others to also find their voice. It is necessary for surviving, striving, innovating, excelling, and leading in a way that will go beyond effectiveness to the era of greatness. My dear brothers and sisters, this is the first way to go. You must allow other people's voices to be heard whenever you have heard your voice. Now, most persons do not know their purpose on earth. Sometimes when you ask somebody, what is your purpose? He or she may not be able to say. But look at the way to discover or to recover your purpose on earth. There are 5 P's of purpose recovery. One is past. What is this past? What is my life experience and history? You ask yourself, what is my life history? That is your past. If you must recover your purpose, you must be very sensitive about this, your life history. The second one is personality. What is my preferred personal style or lifestyle? What is my preferred personal lifestyle? So please, as I'm talking, you get to the house, you write down all this if you want to discover your purpose or who you are. What is my preferred personal lifestyle? Write it down. Then again, passion. Passion say, what do I absolutely love doing? What are those things that you love doing? Write it down. The fourth one, proficiency. What am I good at doing? You know, let me go back to passion. What do I absolutely love doing? There are things that you could do over and over and over and over. Each time they call you, keep doing it. They are things that you love doing. Find out, and it is simple. It could be 1 or 2 things that you like doing. Write it down. Then proficiency. What am I good at doing? What is that thing that each time you do, people praise you? This thing is good. And you have happiness in doing them. That is proficiency. If you can look at your past, look at your personality, look at your passion, and look at your proficiency, all of them is pushing towards purpose. You will now know the purpose why you live. If your purpose is for this or that, then you cannot summarize, this is my purpose. First of all, you must know your past, because your past speaks volume of who you'll be tomorrow. The experiences and your story, how you started. You must look at your personality. What is my preferred lifestyle? What is my lifestyle? You must look at your passion. What do I absolutely love doing? And then you look at your proficiency. What am I good at doing? all of them pushes you towards your purpose in life. Then we also have success habits. We have success habits. One is character habits. Character habits. Develop attitude of service. Develop attitude of service and love towards others. Self-respect, etc. If you do not develop an attitude of service, if you do not love towards other people or self-respect, then you have gone the wrong way. It is key that you do it because these are the positive habits, success habits. Again, too, work and study habits. Work and study habits. How do you go to work? When do you go to work? You go to work when you want because you don't pay well and you don't go on time. If you have choose to work somewhere, dedicate your time to it. It is those little things that you think that doesn't matter that even makes you very successful tomorrow. When you work in an organization and you go to work at the right time, closes at the right time, or work or do the extra mile, any day you leave the organization, a vacuum will be created. It is then they will understand how important you are. In fact, at that time, other organizations may look for you, or even when they call you back, you can say, no, I'm not working except 1 or 2 is done, because they have known how important you are. Punctuality is very serious if you must be a good leader. Home hard work. You must know how to be very hardworking. You must do the extra mile, go the extra mile, and ensure that you add value to your establishment. Get along with others. Are you a team player? How do you blend with your colleagues in the office? It's also key if you must make difference as a leader. Because no leader stands alone. You must work with team. And so if you are not a team builder, you are not also a harmonizer or a mobilizer, then I think you are not the right leader. The third one is financial habit. How do you save money? We have discovered over time, even our ED have told us that savings is one of the conditions that a man or woman will become rich. I also know that networking, I also know that when you are a celebrity, and there are about 7 of them that makes a man, but one of them that everybody can do to become rich is by savings. So you must know how to save. Do you save when you have finished spending? No. They say the best way to save is when you get money, you remove the one you want to save, then spend the remaining. Do not spend or do not save whatever you have spent and remain. They say it's not the right way to save. If your salary is 100,000 naira, if your savings is 20,000 every month, as 100,000 come, you remove your 20,000. 80,000 naira worth, no matter the problem that you have, use that 80,000 to solve them. They say that is the right way to save. Another one is social habits. Do you normally take responsibilities or do you pass responsibility to others? As a leader, the first virtue or the best way to know who you are is by taking responsibility. Always take responsibility. Obey the laws. How charitable are you? Do you help people who are in need, especially the less privileged and the unfortunate? How do you assist them? For you to be a leader, you must have the heart of helping. You must have the heart of giving. Then the fifth one is personal hygiene habits. Cleanliness, good appearance, regular checkup. Health is very key. How do you appear? They say they address you the way you look. If you look decent, people will address you in a decent form. Then cleanliness. How clean are you? As a leader, you ought to have this in you. Finally, let me ask some questions. And these questions, you will go home with it, and then you write it and you answer to yourselves. Every question must be very unique. Let me ask this question. If you say yes, your maker will never say no. This is not a question. If you say yes, your maker will never say no. Now, the first question, what is your vision for the next 10 to 15 years? What is your vision for the next 10 or 15 years? You must start now. 2, how hungry are you for knowledge and information? How hungry are you for knowledge and information? Third one, how much pain and pressure are you willing to endure? How much pain and pressure are you willing to endure? The fourth one, would success or progress change who you are today? Then sit down. And the last one, are you willing to go the extra mile to make the best of your life? Are you willing to go the extra mile to make the best of your life? Leadership is all about taking responsibility. Finally, the best way to protect your future is to create it. Abraham Lincoln. The best way to predict your future is to create it. And when will you create it? Will you create it now? Yes. The routine things you do today is the best way to create your future. However you live your life today will determine on your tomorrow. If you must influence people to follow you, it starts from today. Let me tell you an example. I have not seen, because you can influence people, whether you have seen them, you have not seen them. You have met them, you have not met them. You can influence somebody. Who has influenced me to become who I am today? Is a man called Galileo Galilei. He's my influencer. I was in primary 4 or primary 5. I can't remember, but in primary school. My brother have an encyclopedia. I opened that page. I saw an image with a long beard. His name is Galileo Galilei. I fell in love with the name. What next did I do? I read the history I saw behind it. They say he is a professor of mathematics, but he studied medicine. And he discovered telescope. He discovered the wristwatch we are wearing today. He discovered the pendulum. He's even studying to discover the shape of the earth. And a whole lot of things I saw at that time. I was motivated. I said, how will I do? What will I do to become this man? I met people and asked questions. They say, wow, that man is a great scientist. I told myself I must be a scientist. You see, to an extent, he had influenced me. Before you know, I fell in love to mathematics, physics, chemistry. Till today, they are the simplest thing on earth to do with ease. They influence me. Therefore, your influencer must not only be the person you are seeing. The way you package your life today, the people you follow with, the things you say, and the impact you make, a whole lot of people are looking forward to you. Even on social media, most people follow you because of the content you drop on your pages. Most people too do not follow you because of the content you drop. Therefore, the way you package yourself will influence people, whether they have seen you or they have not seen you. So the leader that you want to be is on you. Mind you, remember that you're also a leader. Do not think that it is only those who are in leadership position who we have entrusted our resources to manage are the leaders. No, you are a leader. I am a leader. Some of us are leaders in the compound where we live. Some of us are leaders in the church, even in the club and association, even in our communities. How do you influence people around you? I love one man. I love one man. I love Adolf Hitler. To you, you might see him as a bad man. Yes, I may also see him as a bad man because he has influenced people negatively. But do you know one thing? He is a great mobilizer, even when we know it is for a negative purpose. People believed in him. People supported him. The whole world, even Germany and other people, fought because of his ideas. Imagine that idea was a positive idea. You know how he would have driven the world through. Today, other great like Martin Luther King Jr., he led a protest that no one ever had led. Look at Mahandi. Look at what he did. These people had influenced a lot of people. My dear brothers and sisters, we can also influence our society, especially this period where corruption is very high. How do we change and stop the corruption? It requires a proactive leader. It requires a leader with a good habit and character that could change our situation. Thank you and thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. We shall be taking question and answer right now. Please, if you have any question, raise up your hand so that I can unmute you to speak. Please, if you have any question, you can drop it on the chat box or you raise your hand. I'll recognize you to speak. Good afternoon, ma. You want to speak? Hello, ma.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Baritoge Wiabu. How will you know when you have the habit of a leader?
Okay.
How can you know when you have the habit of a leader?
Okay. Should I answer?
Yeah, that's it, sir.
Okay. Yes, you will know when you have the habit of a leader, when probably people tend to come close to you as a leader, when your actions are being applauded by the majority of the people, because your action will never, all the people will never applaud their actions. At all times, there must be those that will be offended. But if majority of the people applauds you, if you are that person who listens more and speak less, if you're that person who is passionate, who takes decision after looking at all the options, all the issues, and you take decision, you understand that you will not make mistakes. So at this kind of little things, you will know if you're a good leader. Every leader followers, and so if you attract followers genuinely, without forcing them, without bribing them, genuinely they follow you, they sing your praises, definitely you're a good leader. In fact, you will know by actions of the people you govern or you lead, the way they behave and the way they come around you, you will definitely know if you are doing well or wrong. I'm too.
Yeah, here's the second question.
Is that okay?
Assuming you're a leader in a position, assuming you are a leader in positions and you have money and people are coming to you based on the fact of your position and your money around you. So how will you now believe that it's by your habits or attitude or by the money or the position?
Can I answer?
Yeah.
Another person, can you take down the question then finally answer them? Some people have some questions.
Okay.
Okay, sir. So, Mr. Sobari, you can ask your question now. Unmute yourself and ask your question.
My name is Baritoge Wiabu. That is the name of my wife. Yes, that's the name of my wife. Okay, maybe he wants to make questions in the house.
Should I answer?
Good evening, sir.
Okay. Yeah.
My question is this: is there any way the environment we live can affect the habit of a leader?
Okay.
Any other question?
evening, sir. My name is Always. As a
Okay.
leader, how can you display an habit that will satisfy your followers?
Okay.
Any other question? Hello, you can answer them.
Okay. Okay, let me start from the last. How can you display the habit of satisfying your followers? That's the last question. Now, the habit to satisfy your followers is a habit. As a leader, how can you display the habit of satisfying your followers? You know that every good leader must be a servant leader. Every good leader must be a servant leader. So if you want to display the habit of satisfying your followers, then you will ensure that you are the eighth leadership, the eighth habit. You have the 8 habits, which is if you have a voice, allow others' voice to be heard. If you do that, you will satisfy your followers. Because when you have opportunity and you allow others to also have opportunities as well as a leader, you don't just corner everything that comes to your office or to you because you are the head to yourself. As it comes, ensure that it goes wrong. I am telling you, if you display this kind of habit, it will satisfy your followers and they'll be contented and they'll be happy with you. So you must be the 8th. You must possess the 8th habit. Find your voice and to find their own voice. This is the best way to go. Then another question, the second one, is there any way your environment will definitely affect you as a leader? Just like Nigeria environment, if you hear what people say, they say we are corrupt people. Yes, Nigeria environment has made almost all of us to be corrupt, even when we have not assumed position, but people are scared to give us position. Look at additional in African Bank. They said that he's corrupt, probably because they have generalized that all Nigerians are corrupt. But today he was exonerated by a report of some committee that investigated him. So as a leader, your environment will affect you. But that is why mentorship is right. That is why passing through this leadership class is good. It is you who will not choose, either because you're in that environment and you want to get corrupted, or you'll be in that environment and you will be the different person. The world is looking for men and women of integrity. The environment where you stay, that there are people who smokes, and yet up to now you don't smoke. Why? Because you have chosen not to. Your environment will not totally leader, you must find a way to avoid it. The last one, when you have money, how will you know when people likes you as a leader? Yes, we understand the role money plays in our society, but let me tell you, as a leader, whether you have money or you do not have money, people will come around you. But do you know that there are things as a leader that you begin to see? Even those who are poor, even those who are rich, wants to identify with you. Look at, and when, because you take decision that is not sectional, you take decision that is holistic. So when you do things that is holistic, people will identify with you. And again, when you have money, people will also identify with you. But I'm telling you, when you do things selflessly, more people will identify with you than when because of money. Even when people have money, there are people that will never come to you. But when you do things that will favor the masses, in spite of their status, more people tend to run around you. I think when you do things selflessly, more persons will come to you than when they are coming for money. And those that comes for money will only come when the money is available. The day the money disappears, you will no longer see them. But the other ones that are genuine. Whether there is money, you don't give them money, you give them money, they will keep coming to you. So with that, you will know that actually these people are not coming because of money. They come because of the decision I take, which favors them.
Hello, sir. We have some questions on the comment section. Can I read them out?
Yes, yes.
Okay. This one is coming from Damiete. What is the difference between habit and attitude?
Okay.
Then
Okay.
the second one, can someone with a set of bad habits become a good leader? That's from Prince Abraham.
What is the difference between habit and leadership? What?
What is the difference between habit and attitude?
Okay, attitude. Okay.
Yes. Then
Okay.
also we have a question from Patricia Obige.
The other one. There's one you called before.
Can someone with a state of bad habits become a good leader?
Okay. Okay.
Okay, from Patricia Obige. If one has leadership qualities and a great influencer, but uses it negatively, how can he or she?
Or do what negatively?
If one has a leadership qualities and a great influencer, but uses it negatively,
Okay.
how can he or she be turned back to the right track?
Okay.
Then the last one.
Okay.
Yeah, Nigeria is facing a serious leadership failure. How do we overcome this? From Constant Measure. So you can answer them.
You say Nigeria is because I'm writing whilst you are talking.
Okay.
You say
Nigeria is facing a serious leadership failure. How do we overcome this?
Okay.
Then, hello?
Uh-huh.
What is also the difference between habits and character?
Okay.
The difference between habits and character.
Okay.
Then also, can we agree that our leaders have habit failure in fighting corruption?
There are so many I'm writing. Then after the Nigeria is facing leadership failure, how do we overcome it? Then what next?
What is the difference between habits and character?
Okay, difference between habit and character.
Yes, sir.
And character.
Yeah. Then the last one.
The last one.
Can we agree that our leaders have habit failure in fighting corruption? Can we agree that our leaders have habit failure in fighting corruption?
Okay.
All right.
So can I answer?
Yes, sir, you can go ahead.
Okay, let me start from the first one. Can bad habits become a good leader?
Yes, can someone with a state of bad habits become a good leader?
Can someone with a state of
bad habits become a good leader?
Become a good leader?
Yes, sir.
No, you can never be a good leader because habit is at the center of leadership. Habit talks about the way you relate with people, the way you live your daily life, how healthy you are, how financial are you, because all this is part of habit. Those things you do on daily basis are your habit. And it is this habit that promotes your leadership quality. So if you have a bad habit, you can never be a good leader. Second one, if one bad leader quality and great, there's one. No. If
one has a leadership qualities and a great influencer, but use that negatively, how can he or she be turned back to the right track?
Okay. If one have a bad is a good influencer, but have a and a good influencer will have a very negative, bad habit. How can the person retract back?
Yes,
That
sir.
is a of this training. This training is a character molding opportunity. Habit is a changer. A man cannot change. That is why they said, whatever a man conceive and achieved. Now, let me tell you, now how you that you change since you're a good you are a good influencer, you are a greater influencer and all that, but you have a negative bad habit, you can retract. Begin to do things that are right. Begin to live a healthy living. You have a financial and a social habit status. You begin to live the 7 habit of highly effective people. Go back and look at them. What does those successful people do? Then once you look at them, because habit is a regular thing. Assuming you a smoker and you wake up, you say, well, I used to smoke and I want to stop. My dear brother and sister, it's possible to stop. All you need to do is focus your mind on things that will give you happiness, that are not cigarettes. Once you focus your mind, if what gives you happy is book, ensure you begin to, instead of smoking cigarette every day, you begin to read book every day. Begin to interact, assuming that is your centeredness. I talked about centeredness before. We have spouse centeredness, we'll have financial centeredness, work centeredness, friend, enemy centeredness. What preoccupies the mind of what occupies your mind? Since you're a good influencer, you are a good mobilizer, you are a good leader, but you have a negative habit. You can retract. Habit is the things you do every day. Look the other way and begin to do those things that occupies your heart, or change what occupies your heart. If what occupies your heart is enemy, because I say we have friend and enemy centeredness. If it is enemy, every time everything that happens is enemy, my enemy, remove your focus your mindset on things that will give you joy. Aside from if what gives you joy is finance, focus your mind on finance. Before you know, you start changing your thinking. Then you begin to retract from the previous things that were wrong that you used to do. Then another one, Nigeria is facing leadership failure. How do we overcome it? Yes, we must have leaders that are very proactive. We must have leaders that are self-serving. Must have leaders that are people-oriented. That is what Nigeria needs. Are you not surprised that somebody will steal 40 billion, somebody will steal 30 billion, not servant leaders? They are not people-oriented leaders. And that is what we can do to get it right. One, our electoral processes is another thing that is wrong. I'm telling you, the problem, most of what we're having is imposition. They impose people on us. If we begin to elect genuinely, it is not a godfather that brought them up. Things will begin to change. And then you begin to see Nigeria retracting to the best. So it is possible that Nigeria can change because we have good leaders already. But our leaders that we must choose must be leaders that are self-serving, must be leaders that understand the nature of our country, leaders that can think and does not take on because it affects you or it affects the other person. You must take decisions that will promote you, promote his people, and promote others. You must not be a leader that is greedy. Who can take billion? What will it take to do with the billion? Even when your children cannot even finish the money. Why taking the money for? So we are lacking in those. Yes, Nigeria has bad leaders, but the only way to overcome it is that we should choose who will govern us. People should not be giving us who should rule us. We should be the one to choose. So that by the time the leaders come, he'll be answerable to the people. And when he does what is wrong, the people will say we don't need him anymore. Look at what happened in Egypt in Arab Spring. People push their president and pursue them because they don't work in tandem with what the people want. People chase them out and they go. Look at all the country. But can it happen in this country? Yes, I know one day it will. And that is when we get to take the decision to elect who governs us. Now, the last one. Okay, what is the difference between habit? Not the last one. What is the difference between habit and character? Character and habit, they are similar. They are things that we do on every day. In fact, character is habit because habit is things that we do on daily basis, intentionally. The things we do on daily basis, intentionally. And character is also things we do on daily basis, but not intentionally. Characters are, habit is what we do intentionally, which now becomes our habit. And character are things that we don't do intentionally. They are that are prepared as a result of the habit we have already in us. If you have a habit of that you were doing intentionally, which now develop to a character. This character now is uncontrolled. Assuming you are that who does not obey elderly ones, it becomes part of you. And again, how can we can agree that our habits failure in fighting corruption? So you can get me the last one. Hello, Fabian, can I get the last one? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Can I get the last one?
Yeah, the last one. Can we agree that our leaders have habit failure in fighting corruption? Can we
Yes.
agree?
Yes, we can agree. Our leaders have habit failure. You know the reason why we have habit failures? Because every leader that's going there has already preempt or have already decided to come and loot. So before you go in there, you have already said, oh, this is my turn. And that is why we have bad habits of corruption, because we are not genuine in stopping the evil. Look at what happened in America in the early 1920 to 1940. America was as bad as Nigeria until a man, I don't know if you read about him. He's called Martin Luther. No. He's called William Churchill. John F. Kennedy and Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln. He came to office. There were slave issues in America between the Northern America and the Southern America. Even when President Roosevelt was in office, another president was in office. Those problems were there in the South. They were doing slave trading and they were killing. They were doing everything. But this man came. He said, Abraham Lincoln. He said, "I must stop it." In fact, he was determined to do it. As he came, he made a pronouncement. He walked towards it, and slave trading stopped in the Southern America. I'm telling you, do you know he was assassinated after some months of taking that decision? But lo and behold, today, slave trading stopped because a man came and said it must stop. And he stopped it, and he was eventually killed, but he stopped. Can we also have a man who will come and say corruption must stop, and will be determined to stop corruption, even though it takes his life? That is leadership. You must know that thing that is wrong in the society, and you say, I want to correct it. And you will come and you correct it. And that's how leadership grows. Thank you. Can you?
Yeah, I can hear you, sir. It's like there's a question you omitted.
Okay, which one?
The difference between habit and attitude.
Okay, habit and attitude.
Yes.
Wow. Habit lie at the intersection of knowledge, skill, and attitude. That is habit. I'm defining habit now. Habit lie at the center of knowledge, skill, and attitude. And then what is attitude? Attitude is expressing feeling. Attitude is also showing emotions. So attitude is just the way we show feeling, the way we show emotions. That is only attitude. So there's a difference between attitude and habit. Habit Habit makes you show good feelings to people. Habit makes you show good emotions to people. But attitude alone is not what you do on daily basis. Habit is what you do on daily basis. So if you expresses emotion on daily basis, is habit. But the things you express to the people that see, that's what this is, attitude, not more habit. Habit is those things you do every day. Why the attitude is what you show to people because of the habit you're having. So there are different between it. This is between habit is knowledge, skill, and attitude. Why attitude alone is feelings and emotions. The emotion that people see from you as a result of your habit is what is called attitude. Why the habit is the act of behaving, act of mastering the emotions, act of mastering his habit, but expressing the feelings and the emotion is attitude. Did you get me? Have I answered
Yeah, I think
your
you've
question?
answered. Hello, Mr. Raphael, you want to ask a question?
I'm hearing you.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
My
Okay.
question,
Please ask your question. Go ahead, you're unmuted. Hello, Mr. Ralph. Okay, I think there is no question again. So I will call on the Deputy Class Governor to close the section for us.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening. I hear you.
All right. Good evening, Mr. Henry. Thank you very much for this very detailed course today. We are very, very, very grateful. Thank you for taking your time to really impart this knowledge into us. It's been a privilege having you with us. It's been a privilege sharing in your knowledge. And we are most grateful that you made that time to share this knowledge with us. We say very much thank you. Thank you for coming. And to my distinguished colleagues and leaders who have joined, thank you very much for joining on the platform. Can you hear me? All right. Thank you very much for joining.
Hello.
To those of us who are at the venue,
Hello?
I can see, yeah. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hello? Hello?
Yeah. All right. So I can see a few faces I know, a few faces there, and I'm very glad that I'm seeing you. Thank you very much for taking our time to join from the center. And to those of us who are joining online, thank you very much. I know Her Excellency, the class governor, is online. I greet you, ma. So thank you very much. Let's keep this class both virtual and in person. Let's keep our family together. Thank you very much for joining. God bless you. Have a very wonderful night's rest. Thank you.
Any information for the class?
The information will be posted on the platform, so just look out. We'll definitely, there's information, but we are trying to make it comprehensive so nothing is left out. We know that we'll be having our groupings. I think I should say that now. We should prepare. We'll be having our groupings for the group project. We are going to compile that list and we are going to make it public to everyone, so we'll see and follow up. And then every other necessary information will be passed across to us in due time. So just keep following the platform and please help us spread information to those who are not online. I know a lot of persons are not following online. So if you know someone who is not online, please help us reach out to the person. Let's have our people informed as much as we can. I think that's all for now. Any other information will be placed on the platform. Thank you very much.
Yes. Any other question? Okay, Mr. Prince.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, the people here, they are pleading for people who are not on the WhatsApp platform, that text should be sent across SMS.
Okay, I don't know if
The executive should look into that.
okay, we'll do that, but how do we know those who are not on the platform at the moment? That's going to be a little bit of a challenge. So if we can have someone send me directly the names of those you know who are not on the platform, so we can know how to reach out to them. If you're on the platform or you have my number, please send me someone who's not on the platform and we'll find a way to reach out to them, please.
Yeah, suggesting is send it to everybody. Text.
A text to everybody.
Yes.
We'll discuss that. We'll
Want to
look
say
at.
something, you just move forward and so that you can hear it. You want to say something, you can move forward so that you can hear it. Send me something. Text everybody. Yeah, he has addressed that. He has addressed yes, sir. Are we okay? Go for us. If you have anything, just say it.
Okay, Deputy, how are you?
I'm fine. Good afternoon or good evening.
First time, thank God we have survived the
Ye-
when are we anticipating and expecting our final
Like I s- like I said, we're working on a few things. I cannot tell you now. We'll bring out a comprehensive information both for graduation and the group project and every other thing. So just please give us a little time. We'll make that known publicly to everyone. I will not just want to be giving half information. We'll make it comprehensive so